All right, we are joined now. We've got a full house here in the studio, all from Davenport University, talking about work that the nursing student program is doing to work with vulnerable populations. I've been going over names. Let's see if I can do it now. Anna, Sydney, they are both nursing students, and then Amanda and Debbie, you guys are sort of on the faculty side. Is that correct?
That's right.
Okay, so this is a really neat program where you guys as students and faculty obviously facilitating are introducing students to vulnerable populations in our community, homeless populations, people who are in prison, older and younger generations. If Debbie or Amanda, you would kind of start with, where did the idea for this come from? Why is this so important to be introducing students like these two ladies to this kind of work?
Yeah, that's very exciting to speak to. Every year with our leadership students in their senior year, soon to be graduates, we do a SWOT analysis. And so we get to talk about the things that we've accomplished in our program, our strengths, our weaknesses, opportunities, and threats. And one of the things that the students really spoke to highly was about our community, which had previously been an observational experience, and they really wanted to get back into the community and serve populations. And so that was really what inspired us. And so then working with Amanda, who is the content expert in community, and really started to develop the curriculum and really blossomed the program, allowing it to partner with community partners and then bringing the students into those specific areas.
Yeah, really cool. And so this was sort of like, what did the students feel as though they wanted some more experience in, and then you guys sort of facilitated that. Is that an accurate description there?
That's right. And
really
so
cool.
Community health really focuses on bringing the students experiences. And we've revised assignments, we've revised rubrics to really bring home what they wanted and to bring the vulnerable populations, our social determinants of health, into real world opportunities.
Yeah.
And the suggestions that students have actually made to help improve our courses is really where these projects have stemmed from. And so we developed new partnerships this semester, which were some of our pilot agencies that we connected with.
Yeah.
So to introduce students to community partners and agencies and then have them take it from there to really get the experiential learning and take that forward in their nursing career.
Yeah, and just I'm sure the ways are endless in which that can benefit a career down the line. And so for you guys as students, first of all, congratulations. Senior year I know is a lot of stress, a lot going on. And you guys specifically got to spend some time in the Kent County Correctional Facility with people who were in and out of the prison system. Talk to me a little bit about, I know you guys gave some presentations sort of surrounding drug abuse problems. Tell me a little bit about what you did there and kind of what the response was from people inside the facility.
Yeah, so we work specifically with Kent County Correctional Facility, working with their medication-assisted treatment program. So specifically inmates that were dealing with substance abuse, maybe prior to when they were put into the system, and then working with them, talking about what medications they might be taking while they're there, and also specifically what resources are out there for them once they are released. Sure. So where can they find Narcan? Where can they get help with counseling, or just someone that can be there to support them, maybe when they do get through a crisis or start dealing with something that is really hard for them to deal with on their own, knowing where they can go to get help.
Yeah, and what was the response that you guys saw? Cindy, maybe if you want to take that question, what was, that's some really important information. And of course, the process of transitioning out of the prison system can be really difficult for people, especially if they maybe are in and out of a drug problem. What was kind of the response you got from, giving those resources out?
So they were really grateful, and I think just having us there, talking to them like they're any other human, because they are, it was really great to have that pamphlet of resources we gave them, not only to have at the time of our presentation to go over, but also when they are released, they get that. And it has, like Anna mentioned, everywhere they can find like Narcan or different therapies or housing that they might want to use.
And doing that, having that experience, how do you think that, that time there will impact, when you guys are working as nurses in the community and, maybe you run into someone who, has a drug problem or maybe has been in the prison system. How do you think that experience specifically will kind of benefit you down the line?
I think it just more so even emphasizes that these are regular people.
Yeah.
Like there may be a stigma around being in jail, but they are like any other person you're gonna meet or even work with at the hospital, and just remember that they're human.
Yeah, absolutely.
Yeah, I definitely agree. I think it was really big. They really spoke a lot of, hey, we want help, and we don't always have a voice when we go into the hospital. And so I think it was really big for us as students to be able to see of how we can advocate for them to make sure they are getting the help they need when maybe they don't have their own voice. We can be their voice for them.
And overriding that stigma as well can be so important because you never know who's going to walk into the emergency room or a doctor's office. Do you guys know sort of what, I'm going to put you on the spot here, what sort of plans or, what kind of nursing you'd like to do after school? Do you know that yet?
Yeah, I'm leaning towards emergency room.
Very cool.
I'm going to do cardiac nursing.
Very cool. Yeah. So, I mean, and I'm sure all of these skills can be useful in whatever field exactly you're working in. And I know for you two, these two ladies were in the Kent County Correctional Facility helping, but there were several other avenues working with Mel Trotter, working with a couple of other community partners. Can you tell me a little bit about those experiences for those students?
Yeah, those were pilot experiences also. So agencies that we had a first time go with through Mel Trotter. We had an incredible advocate and partner with Lori Lynn, who's the director of services there. We worked with Corwell Palliative and Hospice Care. Morgan Cachada-Watkins, one of the nurse practitioners, was an amazing partner as well. And Nikki Weber led a class at the University of Michigan Health West in their pediatric offices. And so really taking education to the next level, really emphasizing our vulnerable populations and how we truly can make a difference. Even as students, I mean, the work that they put in, the passion that they showed for these presentations, they're educating real people on real issues. And the experience and the education that they're giving to our community members is something that is going to benefit everyone. Yeah. It was really an incredible partnerships to see all of these presentations develop and make a difference and make an impact.
And I know these were sort of some new experiences, some piloted programs, just based on how successful and how beneficial you guys have said. I'm assuming this is something you guys are going to work on moving forward as well?
Absolutely. We're hopeful for continued partnerships with our current partners, and we're always looking for opportunities to share our gift in our presentations, and again, always looking for those real world opportunities. And like we said, the experiential learning that we have with our community partners takes learning to a whole different level, just makes it more impactful.
So cool.
I think it also spoke to just the core of who we are too, as far as Davenport and our faculty and our team, and that's one thing that we want our graduates to walk away from is just that relationship. And we talk about, every person has a value. Yeah. And there's always a story behind what we see or what we hear, or the story that we hear. But just for them to be able to have that level of engagement, when perhaps they thought that the story was going to be different. And then realizing how important that engagement is, because as faculty, we're teaching in front of them and we're waiting for them to respond, and we're eager, like, okay, today's the day I'm going to hear from you, let's hear from you, or creative resources to get them engaged. And they were like, I'm so surprised at how engaged they are. And they had value, and we always say we can't pick and choose who has value. Right. We all have value. I
love that.
And I think that was the greatest takeaway for them to experience, not to mention that it's really a legacy of past alumni. There's nothing greater than to have that element, to know that this was really a seed that was planted with our alumni, and that we're really kind of living out their vision. And just to know that it's reciprocal, right? So the alumni want to come back and help and breed, and wherever they're working in and see a need, that we can help out in not just the community area, but in that clinical as well. So I'm excited, and
I could just see
speak
the pride and the excitement.
about
it's awesome.
Yeah, it's just making a difference looks so much. It can be a pivot from what the bedside nursing looks like. Yeah. And I think there's that element of what our team really talks about is just heart first. We can teach anybody skills all day, every day, if they have a desire to learn. But just that heart of nursing is really at the root of what our team works really hard at. And our students, and they get to live it. And now they're learning and living at the same time in their senior year. And so it's just, I couldn't be more proud of them, and really just a huge thank you to both of them, because that seed that they planted in those individuals will grow into something that will be a monumental experience somewhere down the road, where we're just changing people's lives, and that's really what this is all about.
Really awesome. I so appreciate you ladies talking me through this. I know you guys have so much going on, as I'm sure you guys do, but taking time to explain this and talk about this process and the community impact. I certainly learned a lot, and I know this is something that hopefully will benefit, you know, students down the line as well. Obviously, other people that you guys will meet in your career. So thank you so much for joining me tonight and just, you know, shedding light on this great initiative that you guys have going. I really appreciate it. And good luck. You're almost to the end, and I promise it will be so fun and so worth it.
Thank you. It was an honor. Thank you.
Yeah, we're going to take